So it begins.
Open source is the free sharing of technical information. Open source software is software with source code that is published and made available for users and other programmers to read, use, and adapt for use in different projects. In production and development, open source as a development model promotes a universal access via a free license to a product's design or blueprint, and universal redistribution of the design or blueprint, including subsequent improvements to it by anyone. So, what are open source projects? Open source is a term used to describe software whose original source code is freely available, which can be distributed and also modified. Open source embodies a spirit of collaboration, transparency, and community oriented contributions, among other things. So, why contribute to open source? Contribution to open source can be a rewarding way to learn, teach, and build experience in just about any skill you can imagine. Why do people contribute to open source? There are plenty of reasons. First one is to improve software you rely on. Lots of open source contributors start by being users of software they contribute to. When you find a bug in an open source software you use, you may want to look at the source to see if you can patch it yourself. If that's the case, then contributing the patch back is the best way to ensure that your friends will be able to benefit from it. Next one is to improve existing skills. Whether it's coding, user interface design, graphic designing, writing, or organizing. If you're looking for practice, there's a task for you on an open source project. Next one is to meet people who are interested in similar things. Open source projects with warm, welcoming communities keep people coming back for years. Many people form lifelong friendships through their participation in open source, running into each other at conferences or even online chats about how to contribute things better. Next one is to find mentors and teach others. Working with others on a shared project means you have to explain how you do things as well as ask other people for help. The acts of learning and teaching can be a fulfilling activity for everyone involved. Next one is to build public artifacts that help you grow a reputation, means a career. By definition, all of your open source work is public, which means you get free examples to take anywhere as a demonstration of what you can do. Next one is to learn people skills. Open source offers opportunities to practice leadership and management skills, such as resolving conflicts, organizing teams of people, and prioritizing work. Next, it's empowering to be able to make changes, even small ones. You don't have to be a lifelong contributor to enjoy participating in open source. Have you ever seen a typo on a website and wish someone would fix it, or an open source project? You can do that.
Developers, 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 developers. Developers, 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 developers.
If you're on this channel for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel and also like this video to show your extended support. So how can technical writers and non-code individuals contribute to open source projects? Like many, even I thought it's important to know coding to contribute to open source projects, but it's not the case. In this video, I'll mention some non-code ways you can contribute to open source projects as a non-coder. First, do you like to write? You can help to improve or write the project documentation. You can also create translated documentation for a project. Next, do you like to design? As a designer, you can contribute to open source project by restructuring the project's usability. You can also create a logo or a style guide. Next, can you organize things? You can suggest issues, labels, and close open issues to keep the repository clean. It is also one way to contribute to open source projects. Next, do you enjoy assisting others? You can moderate discussion boards or respond to questions on forums like Microsoft Tech Community, Reddit, and Stack Overflow. Next, can you teach? Similar to this video, you can create how-to and educational tutorials as well as supporting materials. You can also create YouTube videos or blog posts about the software which you're using to contribute to open source. Next, can you advocate? Organize project related workshops or meetups. You could motivate others by telling them about your personal experiences. Next, join testing and insider programs. Finding and reporting bugs and providing honest feedback on a project can increase its success rate and provide a better user experience. These ways will show you that you don't have to code to contribute as a beginner or a non-coder. But you should understand that this is not the only case. If you know to code, you need to code to contribute in later stages of open source contributions to improve yourself. So, how to search projects on GitHub? To begin, open your preferred browser on your PC. In the search bar, search for GitHub or directly type in github.com, the URL. Make sure to log in to the GitHub profile first. Once logged in, use the search bar to find projects. For example, type JavaScript as a keyword. You will see approximately million results. You can click on any project that interests you. Also, try to understand the GitHub search filters. To refine your search, use the filters. For example, selecting discussion will filter the results based on the discussions related to your keyword. Today, there are a lot of open source projects you can contribute to, and it's up to you to choose the ones that interest you. Below, I have attached a link on a few open source projects you can choose from. Take your time to go through each resource and see what one appeals to you. GitHub is not only a platform for discovering projects but also a powerful tool for managing code, collaborating with other developers, and tracking project changes. GitHub is an invaluable resource. Contributing to open source can be both enjoyable and rewarding. If you have contributed to any open source projects, or if you have thoughts about any open source contributions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.